Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So here we are from Group 5. We want to give our presentation about assessing grammar and vocabulary. So before we start, I'm gonna tell the members of the Group 5. The first is Fadia Rosa, Muhammad Rizwan, Nabila Sobiro, and also Aulia Dini. Is about assessing grammar. What is assessing grammar? Assessing grammar is a term of assessment. Grammar is central to language description and test taker performance. The knowledge of grammar is evaluated by its correct use in communication through listening, speaking, reading, and writing in second language. In communicative competence has four components: grammatical, sociolinguistic, discourse, and strategic competence. Grammatical knowledge consists of three elements. The first is about the grammatical form of the structures of a language, and the next is about the grammatical meaning of those forms, and the last is about their pragmatic meaning or use in a given context. And the next is designing assessment task, selected response. Is about the multiple choice task. The most common selected response task present a blank or underlined word and a sentence, and so the test taker must choose the correct response from the option they are given. It is about also the grammatical form, grammatical meaning, and also grammatical form and meaning. This discrimination task, the text that asks the test taker to attend to input that can be either language or non-language, and to respond in the form of a choice between or among contracts or opposites such as true or false. The last is all about notizing task or continuousness raising task. Task takers are asked to indicate or underline or circle that they have identified a specific feature in the language sample, like so the grammatical meaning. So the next is will be explained by Aulia Dini.
Okay, thank you. So the next is designing assessment tests, limited production. So there are, first is gap filling test. The language is presented in the form of sentence, dialogue, or passage in which a number of words are deleted. The test taker must choose the appropriate response for the deletion or gap based on the context in which language is present, a grammatical form and meaning. The second is short answer text. The input is present in the form of a question following reading passage or oral or visual stimulus. The expected test taker response can vary from a single word to a sentence or two. Grammatical form and meaning. Testing grammatical form and meaning. The third is dialogue completion text. The input is present in the form of a short conversation or dialogue in which a part of the exchange or the entire exchange is left blank and the expected response meant to be grammatically correct. And the next is designing assessment text about extended production. And there are information gap text. Present the input in the terms of incomplete information. There is one test taker is given half or some of the information, and another test taker is given complementary information. But test taker then have questioned each other to get all the information. Grammatical form, meaning, and pragmatic use. The second is role play or simulation text. The input present test taker with a language or non-language from that ask them to take on a role or stimulate a situation to solve a problem. make decision, or perform some transaction collaboratively. Grammatically form meaning and pragmatic use. Thank you.
So the next will be explained by Muhammad Rizwan.
Okay, thank you, Miss Fadia. The next is assessing vocabulary. We, in assessing vocabulary, we can identify words as tokens and types. Tokens are the word in the paragraph. Types, on the other hand, do not count words that are repeat, only words that are different from. Some vocabulary tests have might focus large on lexical items such as phrasal verbs, put put up with, run, run into, compound word, personal computer, or idioms, a pretty penny, which have meaning only as a whole unit. Next, okay. For the types of lexical praise, polywords are short, fixed praise that are perform a variety of functions such as qualifying, marking fluency, disagreement, and etc. For example, for the most part, so to speak and wait a minute. Institutionalization, every expression are longer utterance that are fixed in form, such as proverb and formulas for social interaction. For example, nice to meet you, how is it going, and etc. Rest contraction are medium length that have basic structure with one or two slots that can be filled by various word or phrase. For example, you're truly or sincerely, as far as I know or can tell, and etc. The next is sentence will or phrase that provide the framework for a complete sentence with one or two slot where whole ideas can be expressed. Oh, what the express for maybe the agak nggak jelas ya. Tulisannya ketutupan sama rumput ya. Okay. For the example is, on the other hand, X not only X but also X, and etc. Okay, thank you, Miss Fadia. Maybe the next slide is will be explained by Nabila Sabira.
Okay, for the next slide is designing assessment tests by receptive vocabulary. One function of the context is to indicate a specific meaning of a high frequency word. Second, the learner must be able to recognize the word based on given context. Read the illustrate in the following items. Vocabulary in one sentence context, like high frequency word, and then vocabulary in a one sentence context, low frequency word, and then vocabulary matching exercise, and then the next is word association. For the next is designing assessment text by productive vocabulary. A common vocabulary test type is sentence completion, where the target vocabulary item is delete from a sentence, and the test takers must understand the context in which the word occurs in order to produce the missing word. For the example is fill in the blank and then selective deletion clause. Thank you.
So thank you, Ms. Nabila. So that's all of our presentation today. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.